September, October.
So after you'd finished that back in Virginia, what did you start working on next?
The Bobby record, and also that was another thing. That summer of '91 was ridiculous. We were doing Rump Shaker at that time.
Oh yes.
And doing the Rex, we were doing Rump Shaker. We were doing Rump Shaker, and we were doing the Bobby Brown album at the same time.
Now you moved from Larrabee to Teddy to set up his Future Studios in Virginia Beach.
Yep.
What was the studio? It wasn't like Larrabee. I mean, what was it? Was there a difference? Did it have?
It was amazing. I missed that studio so much. It was probably the most perfect studio I've ever been in.
Wow.
I miss the studio, especially the original way that. Oh my God, the desk doctor. What is his name? Oh my God. He was the tech at Larrabee, and he made the rooms. Him and John Carter made those rooms. And Teddy's room was freaking perfect. Perfect. We had Prince's old E-Series board. Oh my God, that thing was singing. That's where you hear all the dog meow. That's where you heard, well, at that time, before we started on the Rex and Fex stuff, we did, Is It Good to You, Tammy.
Yeah. Is it the one with Heavy?
Version? That was my mix, because Teddy had to run back to LA. I did that mix on my own. I was scared shitless. I thought Teddy was gonna kill me. I was scared. And he goes, "This, John, you killed it." So this, now mind you, we're only working together 4 months, for less than a month, like 4 or 5 weeks.
Wow.
And he loved, that's why me and Teddy are still, he's my brother to this day. We still talk to this day.
Wow.
We talk about things all the time.
Wow.
Different scenarios, different things. And that room was such a great room. When I went back, after I left, mind you, I was only there from 91 to about 94, 95. When I left, Teddy redesigned the room, and he hated it, and I hated it. Oh my God, I couldn't stand the room. Okay. It was they put a fucking J board in there, and I couldn't stand that J board.
Okay.
I couldn't.
But before we go forward, let's just go back. So you're doing, because that was a very powerful year for Teddy. I mean, he's just got Michael. He's got Rump Shaker, which is #1, and then he's doing the Bobby album, which is probably one of my top 3 sort of Teddy productions. The Bobby album, the Keith Sweat album, and the first Blackstreet album. But going back in, the what was happening? Did he have just so much work coming in because he's done Michael? So he was just, what was it like for you guys in those early days? And
if you ever talk to Teddy, he'll tell you, this is how much we worked. I had an apartment in Virginia Beach, and he'll tell you where I used to sleep. I used to sleep underneath the console, literally, because that was the warmest place in the studio, and that was the last place that Teddy would find me.
What was that?
I would sleep underneath the console, underneath the SSL board.
To escape, or to hide, or what?
To get some rest. We would be up literally 4 days in a row.
Wow.
No drugs. If Teddy saw that you were doing some, the only vice I had back then, I was smoking cigarettes back then. If Teddy found out that you were doing drugs, you're fired. Wow. No questions asked. You're leaving right there that day. That's why he loved about me, because he knew I didn't drink. He knew I didn't smoke. He knew I smoked cigarettes, which he hated, which he was so happy when I stopped. Now, mind you, I had to whine upon occasion, but never on the job.
Wow.
Never on the job.
So what were you guys working on? Because that you say, because I know that you had the Rex, the Bobby. What was else? What was?
Well, the Rex and Effect thing was more family. We were locked in. That whole summer, we were all locked in. We were thinking about 15, 16 songs deep. We were locked in. It took about 2.5 weeks just to print out the Rump Shaker mix. Oh my God. Because when Teddy goes in on a remix, it's not just one version. It's 5.
Yeah, I've seen some of the first Blackstreet album. Yeah, the fun.
He was not playing, man. Teddy's a genius, man. People don't understand his genius now. He's so far ahead of everybody. He's about 10 years ahead of everybody.
Yeah. So you're doing the Rex Effects. what was it like when you met, you know, Kill and the rest of the guys? Did they embrace you? They said, Teddy, who's this guy you just brought in? What was that like?
When I first met Markel and Akil, I met them right when Teddy hired me that day, and we were brothers. You know, it's I get emotional about it. Like, they took me in like I was their own.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very special, and I still talk to Akil and Markel today.
Okay.
They're very close to me. That whole family is very close to me. My nieces, Deja, Taja, and Bobby. I was there when Tasia was born.
Wow. Wow.
Oh yeah, that we're more family than anything else. He was never my boss. He was my brother. He still is my brother.
Yeah. So you did the Rex Effect. You do that as soon as were you guys doing album after album? So you finished Rex Effect, they finished. Yeah. You do the bubble. So you don't just do 3-4 different albums and artists all at the same time. Or what was happening in that 91, 92?
Oh God, there was so much stuff going on. We were doing Michael Jackson mixes. We were doing Michael Jackson remixes. We would get, you know, prepping up for Michael's tour, which we were supposed to go on. And I told Teddy we can't do it because we got too much stuff. I got yelled at by Harvey Alston, God rest his soul. Harvey was so mad because Teddy was going to make about $150,000 a week. And I said, Teddy, we owe a lot of records and we need to get this shit done. That's why me and Teddy was still to this day close, because we had a lot of shit to do. And plus he didn't want to go on the road. He just got off of a hellacious tour with Guy.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. And that's when Guy broke up.
Yeah.
So he wanted to go back on the road again. He wanted to stay in the studio and make records.
Yeah. He did say that Michael wanted him to be his music director, but
yes.
Okay. But then Michael was disappointed when he couldn't go on it. But yeah, it would have been a waste if you're going away and just focusing on a massive 1.5-year tour and not putting out any stuff. But then, so he was considering it, but you were the sort of the same voice saying no.
We got a lot of shit to do. I told him we got a lot of shit to do, man.
What did you have in the pipeline that she was going to leave?
Bobby.
Okay.
Then he was doing some other remixes for a lot of people. He was doing some stuff. Oh God, there was so much stuff back then. A couple of soundtrack stuff. We were doing also the new Soul Train theme for Don Cornelius.
Wow.
Teddy was working with a lot of people back then. My memory's good, but not that good.
So let's talk about the Bobby album, because it's, as I said, if I had three Teddy albums, I would have said Bobby album, the Keith Sweat album, then the first Blackstreet, because
that took a lot of our time.
The sound on the 6, 7 songs that you guys worked on, my favorite of all them is One More Night. I mean,
I was just listening to that the other day.
It is my favorite. I mean, it's been 6 minutes long because it can't 6.5 minutes, so you can't make it on the radio. But it's yeah. Can you talk about that?
That song, when Teddy wrote that, I still remember it. We started it late that night, and he didn't get done till about 2 or 3 days later because he was fine tuning it. Then Bernard Bell came in and wrote the song with Mary Brown came down, Mary and Marsha came down. There was everybody was down there. Big Bub was down there.
Wow.
Everybody was down there for that. Everybody was down there for that.
For the album.
For all the writers. I mean, Teddy 1991 to 1994, that Virginia Beach was a music factory.
Yeah.
And we had so many people down there working with us. Teddy would rent out these places, these apartments, so everybody could be working at the same time. Then they would come in and drop some stuff, and that's it. There was so many people. There was a lot of influences down there. A lot of influences.
Yeah, the one thing that we noticed is that he had a consistent team with Tammy Lucas, Mary Brown, Marco McCulloch, and who would sing background, who would co-write Bernard Bell. You mentioned it. It seemed as if he had a crew that he kind of worked with.
Bernard was always there.
Okay.
Bernard was always there. At that time, Bernard was always there. And then Bernard went to do some other stuff later down that road.
Yeah. So with yourself, so especially the Bobby album, what was that like then? Because as I said, the sound of that album it almost sounded like the instruments it was recorded like live instruments compared to didn't seem as manufactured. So there's something about that album that was really, and he actually got nominated for Producer of the Year for that album for his tracks on those albums. So that's how highly they was.
I think at that point in time, Teddy was enlightened because we just came off the Michael record, and he was up there. He was up there. He was so focused, you couldn't talk shit to him. When Teddy goes like this, when I call it the blinders, it was just me and him, eye to eye. That was it. Nobody else could talk to him. Nobody. He was so focused. It was ridiculous. The sounds that we used to get, and mind you, a lot of the Michael sounds we both made, like we made sounds. And at that point in time, Teddy found this thing called the vocalist. I said, Teddy, what happens if we put it like stereo, right? And then Teddy would say, well, what happens if we get 3 of them? Left, right, and center. And that's what you hear on Bobby's record. We were the first people to start using the vocalist.
Wow. It sounded, as I said, that's why it sounds, it's still my favorite album, and I actually only listen to the 7 tracks because it sounds really, it has a very distinct sound on that. One of my Night as a Apprentice is my favorite track on that. So were you there when they were doing the recording as well as so?
I was recording it.
Okay.
I was recording and mixing. I was everything down there. I was my own assistant. I was the engineer. I was the project coordinator for the thing. We were working. There was nobody's like titles. We just got the job done.
Wow.
That's how I was working 24/7. I'll be in there recording. My eyes would be closed, and I'll be cutting, dropping stuff in and out. Teddy would be always in there recording with me.
So then, because Rum Shaker's biggest song in the country that year, then he's out promoting it. Then you're on your own. You had other people joining in.
I would be down there. He would tell me what to fix. Jean, I need you to bring this up. Fix this. Jean, I need you to do this. Jean, I need you to do that. No problem. My pager was always, at that time, everybody had pages. My pager was always going. Always going. Never a dull moment. And Teddy would be in, and Teddy would be out. Now, mind you, at that time, Blackstreet was starting to come together.
Okay. So
there was a lot.
Yeah. So when you think about the albums, you did the Bobby stuff. Then you move on to was it Blackstreet? Was that the next thing that came out after Bobby, or?
Well, pretty much.
Yeah. So the remix for the SWV, So Into You.
Right.
That was a big one for them, and I think there was a remix for Mary J's stuff from her album and stuff. But
I was gone by then.
Oh, you were gone by then. Okay.
I was gone by then.
Okay, but you did the Blackstreet album. You did the first Blackstreet album?
No, I did, but I never got credited for it.
Oh. Okay. So what was it? So after the Bobby, what was the next thing that you worked on with
Teddy?
Yeah.
I was pretty much doing all the Blackstreet stuff, but we had it was time for me to go. There was a lot of politics down in Virginia Beach that I wasn't really part of because he knew I was always crazy. Teddy would tell you that I was a little bit off.
Okay.
Because I didn't take no bullshit. And I just said, Ted, this ain't for me. So I did what Dave Wade did. Either I was going to go to New York or I was going to go to California. I chose California.
Okay.